Okay, folks, it's your buddy. We're going to do a triad here of videos. Basically, 3 for 1. It's a Mike's Meals, it's a Mike's Instant Movie Review, and it's a viewer requested rant, all in one. Now, if you're new to the Mike Messier experience, the subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube experience, basically I eat stuff and I talk. I review films and I take requests. So the meal of the day, and I'm justifying this meal of ice cream by the fact that I'm got to take a vitamin here and it needs to be eaten with food. So I'll take that probiotic in a moment. If I didn't have the food, then it would screw me up. Cookies and cream, pistachio almond, and world-class chocolate. The ice cream tastes very icy. Really a carnival of delights in there. It's a half Baskin Robbins, half Dunkin' Donuts. Now, the movie I just saw, once I've seen it before. It's a 70th anniversary release. I'll be honest, I saw this movie a long time ago. I thought it was in black and white, but apparently it's in color. The African Queen. Things change, folks, for the generation or two ahead of us, or 3. You know, World War II was like the big thing. And anything that related to fighting the Germans was just, it had like a real sentimental value and power to it from the get. Now, I don't know. Just time. Even something as powerful as World War II. Yes, we could all be goose-stepping. Yes, we could all be German Nazi fucks. But with time, you know, the power of these things erode a bit, being honest. It's Bogart, right? Humphrey Bogart. Another one of those guys where you know, I grew up seeing Billy Crystal and everybody else do Humphrey Bogart impersonations. Every comedian worth his salt or her salt was doing a Humphrey Bogart impersonation. I'm going to get into a discussion of gender identity. Found myself rewatching all these Jordan Peterson videos last night in the middle of the night, if you know who that is, which raised some thoughts for me. A YouTube favorite, Jordan Peterson, if you haven't heard of him. He's this Canadian professor who somehow got into a brouhaha about transgender equality and so forth. He's been on the Joe Rogan Experience many times, and I guess I'll just talk about it now since I'm halfway there. I find myself watching these Jordan Peterson videos where they're, you know, trying to, I guess Peterson got into some hot air or hot water because he did not want to be forced to use gender identifying words to identify transgender students. He felt it was a compromise of his free speech. And there's a whole big debate, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And I really just kind of sat and watched these videos late last night, early this morning, truth be known. And then I woke up today, and for some reason I started thinking about my own take on this transgender debate. If it is a debate. I guess it is a debate. Debates within a debate. And I was basically just thinking about it. You know, if you ever listen to Dave Chappelle, he's got his thoughts and stuff. And what are my thoughts? I mean, First off, I feel like there is a high level of bravery for these individuals to go through with this transgender operations. I mean, you have to give it up for commitment. I mean, you're committing to something, a big change, obviously. Next thing that comes to mind is the high suicide rate of these folks who change their gender. And I'm not sure what statistics there are, but I keep hearing, oh, the high suicide rate, blah, blah, blah. Well, is it the high suicide rate of people that wanted to change their gender and didn't, or the ones that did, or both? Either way, it's not good. And I guess there's a part of me, and it's cynical or trying to be mischievous and humorous, but just ask the question, do these people realize that it sucks no matter what you do? I mean, if you're gay, if you're straight, if you're transgender, life just sucks no matter what you fucking do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no goddamn cure for misery. Except ice cream. There you go, Baskin Robbins. We can make an ad like that. There's no cure for misery except ice cream. In my smiling fucking face. So, I don't know. And I guess my stance, which wavers, until today was, you know, I don't think it's a good idea. You know, I was thinking it's probably not the smartest move to get these operations. You could be messing with your body, you could be messing with your chromosomes, whatever. But I do feel that it's people's right to do it. And what occurred to me was, I moved to Florida, and most people at the time, or many friends, family members, were all giving me goddamn lecture after lecture about why I shouldn't move, why I should stay in New England for the rest of my life and just be happy to be there and just die in fucking New England. But there was something in me that said, I have to get the fuck out of here. I have to leave this goddamn place. So I did. Listening to the abusive lectures of friends and family who put their own goddamn opinions ahead of mine. Well, I moved to Florida, and 5 months later, there was this wonderful goddamn worldwide fucking thing going on. New England is fucking depleted, okay, from what I've seen. It's in horrible shape, and the state of Florida is doing much better. So I guess I made the right goddamn call now, didn't I? Now, at the time, most of my family and friends were also goddamn certain of themselves that I was making a mistake. A costly error, right? Yet, I felt I was doing the right thing. And here's my point. For these transgender folks who are getting these operations, they must know the numbers are bad, or these suicide rates or whatever, and they know the expense and the cost and the hassle and buying a new wardrobe and changing your ID and all this fucking bullshit, and going through the goddamn story time after time with people. Yet there's something that's telling them that this is what they need to do to try to achieve some type of happiness or comfort in their own skin. So who the fuck am I to say what's right and wrong? You know what I mean? It's called freedom of choice, even if you make a fucking mistake. So there you fucking have it. So once again, you know, what I don't condone is an agenda that kind of pushes these narratives on kids. I don't know if you've seen these libraries where they welcome in drag queens for Drag Queen Library Day, which, yes, I know it's different than transgenderhood, but that seems a bit much, doesn't it? Could just be me, just my feelings. I mean, you could bring fucking women's mud wrestling into the goddamn elementary school, too. It's women's oil wrestling for third graders. What's the problem? We have to be open-minded to women's oil wrestling for little Johnny and Timmy and Sally. You tell me, folks. See, here's the wonderful thing about me. You have to, and George Carlin pointed this out in one of his routines, and it stuck with me. At some point, you're angry, you're trying to fix the goddamn world, you're trying to fix all the problems, trying to make sense of it all, trying to tell people what to do and how they should think, and everyone should be like me. And then at some point, you just say to fuck with it. The world's fucked. It's going to remain fucked. How am I going to change the world being fucked? I'm not. You know what I mean? So then you just kind of have to giggle at it. Cut off your dick, sew up your vagina, do whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't affect me. Me drinking my coffee, iced coffee, and eating my ice cream. You know what I mean? Another way to survive in this goddamn world and not give a shit is quite simply don't have kids. God, it's such a relief. Sure, you have no legacy other than a bunch of YouTube videos. But what you can say is, I really don't give a flying fuck if the world goes to shit in 30 or 40 years because I'll be dead and you guys can figure it out. You know what I mean? This is how you have to think to survive these days. I'm just dealing with the deck of cards that you assholes presented for me. Society has given me this serving of shit. Here you go. Here's some police brutality. Here's some protests and riots. Here's a worldwide pandemic. Here's everyone hating each other. And I just have to smile and go along with it, baby. You know what I mean? Sure, I can cry a tear for the world, but I have to go to sleep and wake up in the morning. You know what I mean? So this African Queen movie, going back to that, I don't know. When I saw it, whenever the fuck I saw it, which was like on a goddamn VHS tape or whatever the fuck it was, I really didn't like it then, and I really didn't like it today. I'll be honest, it's not my favorite fucking classic movie. You know what I mean? It just doesn't do it for me. But Katharine Hepburn, she does. Katharine Hepburn, if you haven't seen her, I believe, I could be wrong, but isn't she in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Which is the two couples arguing with each other. So, I think she's great. What a woman. I mean, God, that's someone I'd like to work with. Of course, that's not going to happen now. But in some other life, probably the closest I've achieved to that is my friend Ashley Shea in my movie, The Impeccable, in case you haven't seen that one. What else? So, staying on this movie topic, the requested rant was, Mike, what's your take on Top Gun sequel coming out? And why is this coming out 38 years after the original? Well, what's interesting, if you've seen any of the promotional material for Top Gun, this new one, Maverick, I believe it's subtitled, which is the Tom Cruise character, you'll see that it was originally supposed to come out in 2020. Oh, there's people coming. But it was delayed. Hold on, people. So, what do I think of this movie? The chocolate was really buried. It wasn't really mixed. Chocolate ice cream and pistachio go well together. Chocolate and pistachio go well together. But they weren't really integrated in this serving. What was I saying? Sequels. Why are these sequels being made, so long after the fact? Well, I found out some of my research. I found myself on a path of YouTube lost media. And one of the lost medias was there's a movie that was a sequel to Birth of a Nation. Now, if you don't know the whole story behind Birth of a Nation, sad to say that the first like feature-length blockbuster movie made in the United States of America is a very racist movie called Birth of a Nation. Apparently there was a sequel made called Fall of a Nation. The Fall of the Nation, or Fall of a Nation, which is lost media. The movie can't be found. There's all types of things, early television shows, including pro wrestling, but all types of television shows are lost forever because the stations used to record over the master tapes. Because the tapes were so expensive, or the film stock. To save money, they would tape over this material. Doctor Who from the BCC or whatever, the BBC. There's missing episodes of Doctor Who. All types of stuff. If YouTube goes down, like if YouTube crashes and we lose all this material, holy fuck, you'll have some people pulling their hair out. So the point is, always have a backup. And now this friend, this advisor, subscriber, I say advisor because he always suggests good video topics, was saying, Mike, what do you think about these movie sequels, Top Gun and so forth? It's just money. You know, I mean, that's the quick answer is money. Creatively, I think after 30 years, I mean, it's worked at times. I mean, look, Rocky Balboa, the 6th Rocky movie, came out in 2006, and I think it was a worthy sequel to the Rocky movies. And before that, it was 1990 that Rocky 5 came out, and before that it was Rocky 4 in 85. Rocky 5 at the time was generally disregarded and not very well liked. It's grown on me a bit, at least me, Rocky 5. And then there was 16 years until Rocky Balboa, okay? Then how many more years till Creed? 7 or 8 or 9? Or 10? When did Creed come out? 2016? So you tell me. The Raiders of the Lost Ark movies, they, like, the first 2 came out pretty close together. Then there was a drag. The Star Wars movies, I guess the answer, buddy, is money. That's it. And then people, there's also been a big chagrin, which is, why can't they make any more good movies? Why do they make all these sequels and remakes? Well, shit for brains and assholes. There's plenty of good movies that come out all the time that I go see in the goddamn theater, yet I'm the only one in the fucking theater. Okay? And where the hell are you assholes? I mean, watch Mike's instant movie reviews. How many times have I told you, where's everyone in the fucking theater? I'm the only one here. So if you fucks want to see original movies, they're being made. They're in the theater. Go fucking see them, assholes. You know what I mean? What can I fucking tell you? That's the goddamn chagrin I hear all the time. There's no new movies, yet I see them. You know what I mean? Watch Mike's instant movie reviews. 3 billboards over whatever the fuck. All these movies. Chappaquiddick. That was a movie. That's not a sequel. It's not a remake. The one with the Japanese family, the one the Oscar a few years ago. all these movies are not sequels, and I see them. Yeah, there's a lot of movies that are sequels or part of the Marvel Universe or whatever the fuck, but there's plenty of movies that aren't. Nobody came out a few months ago. That was not a sequel. So, I don't know. As far as the question of why, the answer is money, but there's more to it. I do think that, you know, if you live long enough, the lead actor lives long enough, in this case, Tom Cruise, I think it's kind of fun to revisit a story, revisit some characters, revisit some old friends. Sometimes it sucks. The Highlander movies, after the first one, were dead. Even my buddy Mario Van Peebles, that you know I've acted with in Hard Luck, I mean, he did a Highlander movie. It was okay. It wasn't great. Sometimes these sequels are just like reunions to see your old buddies. You know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I agree and I don't, if that makes any sense. Like, look, the Harry Potter movies, how many of those do you need? Harry Potter gets laid. I mean, Christ. Whenever I think of those Harry Potter movies, I think of that SNL skit. Was it Lindsay Lohan playing the character? And she's, you know, they're coming back after summer break or whatever. That was funny. Okay, so I've destroyed the African Queen. Not destroyed it. It's just, I don't know. It's just something about that movie. It's like this poor guy, this seaman or whatever the fuck. He's just simping so hard over this Katharine Hepburn character. He's doing whatever she wants. Hey, let's blow up a fucking boat. Sure. Sure, miss. Sure, miss. Sure, Rosie. Oh, let's blow up a boat. Can you build a tornado? Oh, gee, miss, that's very hard. That's my impersonation of the African Queen. It's just not my favorite of those fucking classic movies. Like, all these movies you're supposed to see, well, that's not my favorite. Citizen Kane, that'll be re-released. I checked my app, my fucking Regal app, and it's like, oh my god, all these wonderful movies are coming out. Reissued wonderful movies. What else? For those that didn't see it, I have all these wonderful Fozzy and concert videos are coming out. Fozzie's getting all the goddamn money from those videos, but at least subscribe here. The Mission Pro Wrestling was also a guest on some podcasts this week. The CTS Interview Room, which I still don't know what CTS stands for, by the way, but CTS Interview Room, I did a nice Hell in the Cell preview show. Going to be on another wrestling podcast. I believe Sean the Assassin Creed, I think I got your name right, was on that show. Sean, a.k.a. Bobby Rassels, invited me, thanks to Joey Lozada. People looking out for me, people trying to help the Mike Messier world. All the comments have been very nice. Thank you, everyone. Somebody was discussing Barry Windham last night. You know, here's the thing, folks. There's so much goddamn content. Like last night, okay? I'll give you an example. It was Saturday night. For me, it's like, okay, it's time to watch Game 5 NBA Championships. What the fuck else are you going to be watching? You could be watching this boxing match. You could be watching this UFC 5-hour fuckfest. I mean, God. And then all the wrestling fucks on Twitter. Oh, Impact Slammiversary. Well, fuck. I've got two fucking eyes in my head. I can't be doing all these things at once. So then I'm taping the goddamn boxing. I'm taping the goddamn MMA. I go to my fucking YouTube and spoiler, assholes and idiots. Everyone has to put the fucking spoiler in the goddamn result of their video. So now I know everything and I haven't seen anything. Thanks, world. Fuck you. So there you have it. All my wonderful thoughts. So I hope I covered the fucking thought about why are these sequels being made. The answer is money, but I mean, I think creatively, I wouldn't mind seeing a Risky Business sequel. Let's cart out, what's her name? Rebecca De Mornay, see how she's doing as an old whore. Okay? I mean, the character, not the actress, just to specify. I want to see a Happy Days reunion. And they're all dead. I mean, I don't know. Some of these people you can't... That's the thing, folks. At one point, I mean, Katharine Hepburn in this movie looks great. She was probably 60 years old in this thing, or 50, or who the fuck knows. But certain points of her lighting, you can see her wonderful eyes, the cheekbones. But then at other points, like, oh, she was pretty old when she was doing this. But life is going to kill you eventually. I'm going to roll up my window here. We're all going to be dead sooner or fucking later, right? So might as well make the most of it while you can. Why are these assholes parking next to me? Why in the fuck are they parking next to me? I don't know. And they're parking in reverse. Like that's the cool thing to do at Baskin fucking Robbins Dunkin' Donuts, is to park in reverse. I don't understand it. The person has a sticker of a pink whale on their car. What does that mean? Is that some type of third-party politic group or something? Why would you have a sticker of a pink whale on your vehicle? The individual just got out of their car, obviously. I don't know what to say. It looks like date night for these two. And their big thing is to park in reverse. I guess that's their couples thing. Couples goals. Let's learn how to park in reverse so we can look at each other. I don't know, folks. I don't fucking know. Maybe they'll have children and another brain surgeon will be born who parks in reverse at Baskin Robbins Dunkin' Donuts. I'm having this coffee before I go to my typical coffee house. Why? I like this coffee better. I know people scoff and they bemoan Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I fucking like it. There you goddamn have it. I like Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Sue me. Maybe because it's just cheap and tinny, but I like it. So fuck off. WWE Hell in a Cell gobbledygoo. Who will be the big surprise female entrant? I'm going to go with Sasha Banks in her midsection. A baby-free midsection from Sasha Banks. Is Sasha Banks a, what do you call that religion that's so weird? That weird one. The witness, the JW, the Jehovah's Witness. Is she a JW? And if so, what does that mean? I mean, she acts very sexual. Talk about Sasha Banks. For a woman who's supposed to be, if she is a Jehovah's Witness, shows a lot of skin. You know what I mean? As in her midsection and all these flimsy outfits. But I've heard she's a JW. She's got that boyfriend who sews outfits for the WWE. I guess he's got a part-time job where he sews for them. Sews costumes. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Being a male seamstress for the WWE is great. Everything is awesome. Everything is to be honored and appreciated. Nothing is to be made fun of. Everything in the world is fucking awesome. #awesomeworld.com. Whatever the fuck. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel.